I want you to do the intro.
Oh my goodness! I don't know if I can get through it because I'm too nervous. But an absolute honor to introduce our next guest. You may remember him as the Secretary of Defense.
That's right. Okay, salute this man when you see him in the street.
We're talking politics today. But no, I mean in Everton legend,
men's national team legend,
U.S. men's national team, New York, New Jersey Metro Stars legend,
also New Jersey legend.
Please, a big warm welcome for the one and only Tim Howard.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Everything's good, man. Everything's good. I appreciate the Metro Star shout out. It's old school.
Right,
yeah.
And that's where let's start with.
Well, no. Come on, hold on. I let you do the intro, but we got to have the first question. My guy's from Jersey. Right.
Yeah,
I'm born and raised in Newark. You know what it is. Everybody that comes in, I don't care if it's Bob Bradley. I don't care if you're Greg Berhalter. I don't care who you are. You're from Jersey. You get the first question, and this dictates whether we even continue the interview or not. Is it Taylor ham or is it pork roll?
It's pork roll. I mean, that's just how we did in Central Jersey. I'm sorry.
You know what? You know what, though? You a legend, so you get to stay.
Wow.
But nah, it's Taylor ham, baby. I even tried to give you one out there, Tim. I told you I was from Newark. I'm from the north.
I know. I'm from Central Jersey. I got pork roll, which sounds nasty. A Taylor ham is so much better. Pork roll sounds nasty.
You got to respect Taylor. Come on, he invented it.
Tim Howard, thank you so much for being here. Again, it's an absolute honor. I mean, a lot of people know, obviously I'm a big Everton fan. We're both huge U.S. men's national team fans. We grew up watching you. We're not trying to age you or make you feel old. But you mentioned
as little babies, we saw your retirement announcement, and now here we are, grown men.
I mentioned the Metro Stars. That's where my first soccer games I went to. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I would go watch you play, and everybody was like, "You gotta watch this guy." And I even though at that time I didn't know too much about the game, but I knew everybody told me this guy is somebody special. And then you end up going to Manchester United. So that really I think at the time we didn't know what we had. We weren't aware. The American soccer culture wasn't as informed, I would say. But from when you left. Right. New Jersey and ended up going to England, when it comes to that American soccer acumen, how did it feel when you came back and you were like, yo, a lot's changed. Everybody's very well aware of what's going on over in Europe.
Well, I mean, similarly, I come from immigrant parents, and anybody who's in the New York, New Jersey area, most of our first memories are somewhere in the Meadowlands, the old Giant Stadium, now MetLife, but whether it's Red Bull Arena, whatever. That's the area where people, like I said, from immigrant parents, it was like there was a big game at the Meadowlands. I think it was USA versus Peru, and that was the first. Sat all the way up in the stands in 1988 or something. And I remember the first Metro Star game that I went to when I was in high school. And so, I go back to all those years, and it was primitive. Soccer in America was young. There wasn't supporters groups. There wasn't, this. I remember going to Kansas City or to Chicago, and the fans were nice. They were like, "All right, can I have your autograph?" And now you go there, and they don't want to know about you. They want to boo and spit on you and all this crazy stuff. And that's cool. And that all happened while I was living abroad and playing in the Premier League. And then I come back, and it's like, man, everybody's got their own stadiums. The fan bases are crazy. They're excited. It's a passion now, and we have that in America.
Let me ask you about when you first get to Europe, and you became you were a very good goalkeeper when you first got to Manchester United, but you became a legend when you got to Everton. And it was the first time that I actually saw, because I didn't really get a chance to witness the McBride stuff as much. It's the first time I saw a European fan base just accept an American. First, how did that feel? And second of all, did you have to tone down the New Jersey when the disrespectful chants started? Because, we're built a certain way, Tim, right? There's only so much we can think,
I know. Look, I think that I was always going to make it. I was always going to make it. I went over there. I tried. I failed. I had some successes. I had some bumps in the road, but I was always going to succeed. My mindset was, I was so focused. that I was going to make it. And then I went to Everton and I just found a home there. Some people, you find a little pocket in life, you find a little niche, and I found a home. And so, again, one of the greatest things in my life is that I became an Evertonian. I became one of them. We were the same. And it took hard work. It took loyalty and dedication. But yeah, I love it. I mean, that club is, like I said, I play for Manchester United, which is the biggest football club in the world.
Right. Look, and speaking of being an Evertonian, I am an Evertonian because of you, Tim. Okay, I got the luxury of when Everton were playing at the Florida Cup in Orlando, I got to shake your hand and tell you it's your fault. You're the reason, because look, this is what I want to deride you for and praise you for, because obviously the results, the ups and downs, it's challenging following any football club. Mm-hmm. We all know that, but the one thing that has been amazing, especially I got to, as people know, I'm going to my first match at Goodison Park on Monday to see Everton take on Arsenal. And the one thing, especially going to Florida and meeting other Evertonians from all over the United States and from even some from Europe as well, the kindness, the warmth, the like, thank you for supporting this club. I know you're not from Liverpool, but it means the world that you would support such a club with so much history. And being in Orlando, getting to meet all those people, seeing you on stage, seeing how excited everybody was to meet you, made me even more proud with the decision that I made. I'm like, this is, we'd be talking about a club winning all these trophies or whatever, but it's like there's something, there's a family that I didn't even know I was a part of, and that's what Tim Howard had brought to my life.
Well, it's funny you say that. I appreciate it, because Everton is the people's club. It's a family club. And that's what I fell in love with when I first went there, I was like, this is more my speed. I'm a fabric of this club. And the people, the lunch ladies and the kit men and the fans, everybody's the same. Everybody's the same. Nobody's higher than anybody else. And that's the fans as well. And I got to be honest, that's what I love about now being retired, having brought a generation of Americans to love Everton. And so now that I don't play anymore, I have that in common with them. And so many people like yourself will come up to me and say, hey, I support Everton because of you. And I'm just like, it makes me feel like on top of the world.
We're going to England. We're gonna go to Goodison Park. It's gonna be my first time there. Both of ours first time there. But Alexis will be with the Arsenal fans in the away end, watching this game. Do you have any memories or things or any anecdotes of playing against Arsenal? Anything that we should look out for or prepare for that particular match day?
Well, listen, yeah, I do. Listen, I said Manchester United, I played for them. They're the biggest club in the world. Everton is the greatest football club in the world. When you walk into Goodison, be prepared to be walking into paradise. It's a throwback to the old, what football is actually supposed to be, walking through those turnstiles, seeing the pitch and the older type stadium. Get yourself a pint of beer and a pie. And then you'd be full on English. You'd be ready for the game.
Nice. When you look back, though, playing at Goodison Park, is there like a memory you have of like maybe like what the toughest striker you went up against, or like one of those moments? Because one of the things that we keep hearing from Everton fans is that it feels like there's like the ghosts of old Everton are there. Like it's such an old stadium that it feels like the old players are looking out for you and still there. Yeah. Is there somewhere where you remember you're like, damn, how did I do that in that stadium?
Well, actually, a game Landon Donovan played in, I scored a goal. I think it was 2012. And that's one that sticks into my memory because of just the fans' reaction. But always walking out of the tunnel, you'll hear Z Cars, which is the theme song that Everton comes out to, and it's a dark, rickety, really tight tunnel. And I can just remember walking down, and then you walk back up, and it's you see the heavens, and you hear the noise of the crowd lift because obviously their heroes, their idols are about to take the field, and I was one of them. So again, very blessed.
What's up, guys? Landon Donovan here, and I got to kick it with the Cooligans today. Keep following, keep listening, keep watching. See you guys soon.
When you look back at that time, one of the things that I remember as an Arsenal fan, there wasn't many times other than when you were playing where I'm like, oh, I need to watch this game. And it was like, yo, Tim Howard's there. He makes us look great. The dude's from Jersey. But when Landon Donovan went on loan, what do you remember about that era? Because the first thing I remember is people were like, hey, this American's pretty good. And I'm like, yo, we got 2 of them now in this squad. And then he did come back to MLS. And a lot of MLS fans, even at the time, were like, yo, we wish he would have stayed out there because we thought, especially at that era, that it would have sort of maybe changed the perception a little bit faster of Americans. And we'll ask you about some of the Americans that are doing it now. But talk to me about that time. How did you feel about him going back to MLS? Did you had hope at that time that he had stayed? Because he was playing well.
Selfishly, I hope he stayed because he was a brilliant footballer and he was a match winner. And at the time with Everton, we were a bunch of grinders. You know, we were cut from this cloth that David Moyes molded, and we didn't have a lot of match. We had Steven Pienaar, maybe 1 or 2 others, but really Landon came in, and this was a guy who could play in the Premier League and be elite. So selfishly, I wanted him to, but let's never, no one in the universe or in American soccer can question Landon Donovan's career. He did it right. He earned his money. He won a lot of things, and so. But again, I didn't want to see him get back on that plane because I needed a teammate to score goals.
We've had Landon Donovan on the show, and for us, I mean, these are monumental. You guys, you two in particular, have provided such incredible moments for the American soccer fan. But then for us directly, we're like, we actually get to say, yo, thank you for scoring that goal against Algeria. How did it feel to make that pass? This is incredible. I can't believe I'm talking to you.
Yeah, bro, you could have thrown a curveball for the Yankees with that arm. When you saw Landon Donovan score that goal, what did you in your head? Were you like, yo, I should get an assist here?
I did just as much as he did.
Listen, those forward boys get all the glory, and I'm proud of them. In that moment when you're at the pinnacle of your career, you're in the biggest game. I was just hoping they didn't concede and draw the game. It was a brilliant moment to be a part of in U.S. soccer history. But Landon and Clint and Josie and the big boys, they get all the credit, as they should.
Always getting all the love.
The humility.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we're about to have a World Cup next year, but I mentioned, the Secretary of Defense. I mean, that I actually, it's interesting. I remember doing a comedy show where we had to do like PowerPoint presentations, and I did a PowerPoint presentation on the fact that you were called the Secretary of Defense and making all those saves and all the memes that were created. Yes. I literally did slides of like all the different memes of you like stopping a meteor, all this other stuff. But I mean, what does that do for obviously it was a tough loss against, to get bounced out of the World Cup in that fashion. But the what does it do for your personal career? And when you get back to your club, and everybody saw what you just accomplished. Did a certain level of it, like, we lost in the World Cup.
Walk in like the price went up.
Hey, okay, but you tell your agent
next contract. I don't know if you watched the World
Cup. Look, I think. I played in the Premier League for a decade plus before that World Cup. So I wasn't doing anything different, I think the greatest thing about that World Cup and that performance against Belgium was that we as a team got to see soccer transition in America to mainstream. It became less about just the soccer fans, and now everybody was paying attention. And that's just a cool thing to be a part of. It sucked to lose, but again, we went toe to toe with one of Europeans' golden generations. Belgium, that's the best team they've had in 30 years, and so we could be proud of ourselves for that night.
I'm just curious. In that game, obviously, there's always a lot of trash talk being said on any game. You made so many incredible saves. What were some of the Belgian players must have been like, yo, Tim, really, dog? Like, yo, chill. What did they say?
In the moment, they were just trying to whoop my tail, so you can see it on their faces. So I think when you're locked in and you're competing at that level, you can see it on their faces that they're just kind of mesmerized that there's another save, the raise of the eyebrows and the shaking of the head. So I try to stay locked in.
I would have asked to swap jerseys with you just so that I could burn it to get rid of the omen that you left on that team.
True.
Let's talk a little bit about the goalkeeping class for U.S. men's national team right now. I mean, there's I've seen you talk about this as well, just about fighting for your position, right? And Zach Steffen and Matt Turner are in that position where Greg Berhalter has like a tough decision to make almost every single game. What is how do you feel about this last few years of the goalkeeping class that you've seen?
Well, look, I think there's only one shirt. You can't get subbed in and sub. I mean, you can, but no one ever subs in the goalkeeper. And so there's one shirt to fight for. Look, I think Zach Steffen is supremely talented. I've been on record saying it. I think he's the sky's the limit for him. Matt Turner's had a brilliant season for New England, and he's not really put a foot wrong when he's been asked to play for the national team. And so, if whoever plays, the other guy's going to be upset. I think ultimately, when you look at Zach Steffen, you're looking at a generational talent that, in years to come should be, if all things go well, the greatest U.S. goalkeeper there was or is. But again, time will tell that. But he has the ability.
When in your career, one of the biggest benefits that you had was you got playing time. And when you moved to Everton, you got a chance to be the starter unless you were injured. Mm-hmm. When you look at Zach Steffen, he's number 2 to an incredible goalkeeper. Do you say to somebody like him, if you were guiding their career, go get playing time or stay where you're going? Because you got a guy like Matt Turner who's nipping at your heels.
Great question. He just signed a contract extension to 2025. So what I would say for any athlete is this is your job. Don't let anybody tell you any different. Get as much money as you can and make as much money as you can, because unlike other professions, this is going to be finished at 35 if you're lucky. And I can, and so first and foremost, get that sorted out. He's on the right path. He's not going to sit on the bench for very long, whether that's at Manchester City or if he has to go on loan and get games, he'll do that. But I think he's doing it in the right way. And look, if he has to take a hit here or there because Matt Turner's going to play 1 or 2 games while he's not getting as many minutes, that's part of it, but he's on the right path.
Okay. And let me just remind you just how Jersey my guy is. He goes, first thing, secure the bag. Get that money right.
Of course.
We got till 35 to stack that end. You know what I mean?
That's it.
This is why I love Tim Howard, This is my guy. He's like, first piece of advice, get that guap. Second piece of advice, get more guap.
Okay. Just Tim Howard, Financial Advisor LLC. I love it.
Hell yeah, dog. I love it.
Recently, something interesting happened because of my name. The other day, I requested the Uber, and when I got to the car, there was someone already in the car who was furious. He was really, really upset. And the reason why he was upset was because he tried to hail the Uber. He just tried to hop right inside of an empty Uber, which you're not allowed to do. You can only request it from your phone, otherwise they won't pick you up. So again, my name is Christian. So I get to the car, the guy gets out of the car, he looks at me, he goes, "Hey, I just want to let you know that this Uber driver keeps asking me if I'm Christian." Right? So I'm like super confused. But then I look at the Uber driver, and the driver happens to be Middle Eastern. So because of that, this guy actually thought that this Uber driver was asking him his religion before he would take him anywhere. Which is pretty dope, and I wish Uber did that. That'd be so cool. What a cool feature. Like, hey, are you Christian? Oh, you are? Well, I'm sorry. I can't drive the infidel. I'm sorry, rules are rules. My hands are tied, and soon yours will be too. Ridiculous.
Turn it up.
We have our own supporters group. These guys are called Gully Squad, all right? Because that's how we keep it. We keep it gully.
All right.
And we give them the opportunity to ask up a question. See, my guy gets it. Stack that money, you know what I mean? So we let them ask a couple questions. We got a great question from Mike Thomas, who's a Philadelphia Union fan. He said, and this is one of my favorite things about retirement, Tim Howard, is the exercising don't stop. He just gets a beautiful editor and he puts it on Instagram. The thirst traps are real. Do you have any tattoo regrets? And you are covered essentially head to toe in tattoos. Do you have any tattoo regrets?
Man, I got a lot of tattoo regrets. I mean, I'm nearly, probably 90% of my body's covered. So, yeah. So that being said, there's probably a whole handful of regrettable tattoos, but they're on there to tell a story. So good fun.
Okay. I wonder where they are. Look at his Instagram. He shows you every body part basically, so you'll get to see it.
They're all over.
One thing, this was about, what, 3 years ago? There was a tattoo that a picture of you getting a tattoo, like on the side of your butt, on your butt, kind of like what I mean, bro. You know what you're asking for when you put that on the internet. The comments are gonna be fierce. Okay,
hey, if I did that, they would ban me from Instagram.
Listen. We had some party tats with my boys in a band, and people on the internet go crazy. So I can't help them. That they're on their own with that.
Yeah. It's like that old Ted Alexandro joke. He's like, I can't control who's looking. I just got to bring the heat. Yeah. That's basically it.
We have a couple more questions. I think this is a really good one. This is actually from I'm trying to find who wrote it. Basically, it's from Siri Brown. Look, you probably prepared really heavily when you were a player. What's some of your pregame, rules or your routine for now that you're on air? Do you do anything different? Are you still doing a bunch of push-ups or whatever? What is your pregame for now being an on-air commentator?
Just again, a lot of preparation. It's less physical, and obviously more studying, repetition. Loads of research notes. I just always make sure, I have brilliant producers there at NBC, and they always said just make sure you're over prepared and you have more notes and information and statistics and comments than you'll ever use on air. And so I always go home every weekend. I probably have pages full of stuff I didn't use, but I always make sure I have it.
Okay, yeah, you gotta.
Well, hold on, send it to us because we don't prepare at all.
We need it.
You got some leftover. Send it this way.
You gotta put Robbie Musto in his place, bro. Tim Howard, thank you so much for joining us, man. This is an absolute honor. We have a couple pieces of business before we let you go. We have to get to our Golazo gift. I know that you mentioned, that you did score a goal.
Yeah.
For Everton Football Club. One of the most amazing things you'll ever see. But to be honest, and you've said this many times, you didn't celebrate that goal because you said, a goalkeeper scoring against another goalkeeper in that fashion. You didn't want to, embarrass him in any way. But that's all done.
Yeah.
This is
scratch that. All right.
This is your opportunity to celebrate that.
I'm scoring. If I score, I'm celebrating next time.
Okay, so then let's give you a scenario.
Okay.
Let's say you're about to run up. You're a goalkeeper. You're about to run up. At end of the match, it's a corner. The coach is sending you up, and on the way up, the coach says, "By the way, I know you're an owner of Memphis 901. Everybody go check out Memphis 901. Get season tickets if you're in Memphis. But if you score a goal right now in this corner at the end of this match, we'll also make you part owner of Everton, huh?
Okay.
Not a bad deal. Not a bad deal.
So
you score that header. How do you celebrate Tim Howard?
Ball goes in, bang. Boom! That's how I'm celebrating.
Hit him with the...
Love it. Okay.
I'm surprised it wasn't the give me the money.
Unbelievable, Tim Howard. This is a great preparation for my first time at Goodison Park. I'm honored that this was the pregame to my first match at Goodison Park. Seriously, I will treasure it forever. Good. So thank you again for joining us, man. Is there anything you want to let people know about before we let you go?
Well, most importantly is this holiday season and any time of the year. I in my heart work with Ronald McDonald House Charities. And it's just something that we have here in Memphis and all over the country. It's near and dear to my heart, and it's when families go through what they go through, to be able to have the housing and all the accommodations and food and gifts that Ronald McDonald House Charities provides, it's priceless. So go check that out.
That's awesome. Absolutely. Everybody do that. And yeah, look, I know he's the big Everton fan, but as a dude from Jersey growing up, getting to see you shine, that was awesome. Especially for those of us in Newark who grew up without dads, which was everyone in Newark. You basically were like, hey, look, our older brother's doing pretty good.
An inspiration.
Hey, maybe we could go to Europe, go say what's up. And they're like, everybody stay out. But thank you so much. It was absolutely awesome. An honor.
Thank you so much again, Tim Howard. All right, everybody, make sure you follow us at Soccer Cooligans on all social channels. Also follow at Fubo Sports and subscribe to the Fubo Sports YouTube channel for full episodes of the show and more clips as well. Okay, Tim, well, we're going to end the show the way we normally do, as is tradition. So please join us in this. Again, absolutely honored to have you join us. So for Tim Howard, my name is Christian Polanco.
I'm Alexis Guerreros.
And together, what are we?
The Cooligans!
Let's go. Cooligans, baby.